Hey there adventurers, I'm back with another Daggerheart video that's sure to flop harder than a grey ooze dropping from a stealing tile straight onto your face. But you can dodge the ooze and help this channel survive by smashing that like button, sharing with your table, and subscribing for more content that definitely didn't take hours to edit. Today we're diving into transformation cards, a new feature in beta that lets you give your character a juicy, narrative-driven glow-up. What are transformation cards specifically? Well, transformations represent major changes or augments to your character, either from story events or backstory flavor bombs, like vampirism, undeath, or lycanthropy, or becoming a literal ghost. These don't count against your domain card limit, and each one gives you a flavorful boon and a juicy drawback to keep things spicy. So I'm gonna go card by card, and I'm gonna rank them from meh to Ermagerd. The vampire is up first, and I love the flavor of this one. Literally, you deal damage with your fangs and then you can feed. You mark 1 stress and bank HP as blood tokens. You can have a maximum of 5. You can then spend these tokens to upgrade your fear die to a d20. Nice. But run out of blood tokens, disadvantage on actions and reactions. No blood, no power. It's elegant, thematic, and slightly high maintenance. It feels like a card that rewards roleplay investment, but casual tables might forget about it. Cool mechanic, not game-changing unless you're leaning hard into the flavor. Solid B tier for sure. And this next one is a ticking time bomb, and I mean that in the best way possible. With Werewolf, every time you take HP damage, you can choose to go full wolf mode. Mark a stress, gain a T10 wolf die, and add that to your damage rolls. But here's the spicy part. If you run out of stress to mark, you frenzy and deal a number of d20s equal to your tier to all creatures in very close range. Yes, you explode. This is the melee crowd control dream. Picture it. The barbarian gets stabbed, he starts growling, takes his shirt off, and stars in Twilight's new series that nobody asked for, only on Amazon Prime. And then he suddenly goes supernova. It's risky, chaotic, and super fun. Another strong B tier, but dangerously close to A in the right build. And have you ever wanted to roleplay a zombie? The Reanimated transformation lets you do just that. This is the zombie core dream. Like Bell's House Laudna called and said, same hat. The drawback, you can't clear HP unless you have a fresh corpse nearby and burn a downtime move. But when you attempt to risk it all at a death move and fail, you can permanently mark a hit point away and succeed instead. It's gritty, high risk, it's I patch myself up with the entrails of my enemy energy, and honestly, it's peak necro flavor, peak narrative drama, and A tier for sure for its ability to keep you going if you pick a fight that was more than you could chew. So Shapeshifter's next up, and this one's a little meh, if I'm being honest. You can use a downtime move to swap your current ancestry with another, and use one of its features. It's super fun from a roleplay angle. You're a changeling, a body thief, or just indecisive like my ex, but mechanically, downtime moves are precious. You're probably not using this as often unless the narrative demands it. It is flavorful, but I think it's kind of niche, so I'm putting it in C tier. The Ghost is possibly my favorite transformation, and not because my players sometimes ghost me at the table. You cross out a hit point slot when you take it, and then every time you level up, you lose another hit point. Eventually, you're dead. That's it. You just fade into the void like you were never there. But while you're still haunting the material plane, you can mark stress to shift into an incorporeal form. This allows you to move through walls, avoid all physical damage, and become nightmare fuel. Take this one with some of my recommendations in the Midnight Domain deck for some truly BBEG and player form energy. Unfortunately, you do suffer double damage from magic attacks against you, and sure, that kind of sucks, but that's a trade-off I'd take any day. You can even spend 2 hope to interact with the world while ghosted. High flavor, high drama, actual mechanics for a slow death, 10 out of 10. Would haunt again, this one's S tier. And then finally, the Demigod transformation. Okay, hear me out. You gain a permanent D10 advantage die, which is cool for sure, but this one just lacks in the Demigod feel, if you know what I mean. For every time you roll a failure with fear, you either have to mark a stress or give your GM an extra fear token. Ew. Also, the math that D10s give you is an average of +5. A D6 gives you an average of +3. That's only a 2-point spread difference on average. Not nothing, especially if you're rolling high on a D10, but not sacrifice your soul tier either. So unless you've got a build that always gets advantage, the cost for me feels too steep. It feels more like a flavor flex than a mechanical win, especially for something labeled Demigod. Sorry, little godling, this is C tier for you. And I ranked these to help you get a feel for how they might play at your table, but every single one of them has narrative potential baked in. Transformations are less about optimization and more about storytelling momentum. They offer mechanical incentives to roleplay your character's descent or their ascent into something new. I definitely hope we get more in future expansions, and I'm personally holding out for Lich, Feymarked, or even Chronically Cursed. What's your favorite of the transformations that are in beta currently? Got a wild idea for a character or an epic plot twist involving these cards? Drop it in the comments or head over to our Discord channel where Daggerheart and Dungeons & Dragons are both all the rage. I want to hear all about your chaos. Until next time, my friends, keep rolling those dice, and may your quests be epic.